Welcome to another episode of the Everyday Game Changers podcast. I am your host, Baron McQueen, and we talking to everyday people changing the game in business, entrepreneurship, music, community, and more. And today's episode is definitely no different. I'm super excited to introduce these two brothers, man. It's two people that look like me that's doing some big things. Chris and Calvin Lamont, how are you?
What's going on, D? How you doing, big dog?
I'm good and blessed, and I'm excited, man, to talk to you guys. You got to buy it or build it. When is that's coming this spring, right?
This spring, right, Cal? Like literally, shoot, a couple months from now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe late May, early June. We
I'm
had one
saying,
episode come on already, but the whole season starts this May or June.
That's
yes,
exciting,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. We're super excited, man. Just to introduce everybody, D would appreciate the introduction, but I'm Calvin Lamont, from the new show right behind me, Buy to Build It on HGTV. It actually already aired a preview December 22nd,
Okay.
2021. So it was very, very cool seeing us on TV. So I'm the Build It brother. I champion the builds on the
Ah,
show.
dope.
Chris, go ahead.
And I'm Chris Lamont. I'm the buyer brother. So I'm the one that's going to try to get you into a house to remodel, get it going, take something that's real ugly and old and make it look brand new.
Got it. So y'all gonna be like, that's almost like an inner competition that you guys probably been doing for since y'all was kids anyway. Then this is just on a different level.
And now we get to
A way
compete on
different level
TV
now,
now,
right?
right?
Yeah,
Now
that's
we on
dope.
this global level.
So talk to me like individually about how. So Chris, let's start with you. How did you get into uh the space of like this whole the real estate game and construction and flipping?
Well, we from up north. We was born in Texas, but we're from up north, right? You know what I'm saying? New Jersey, New York area,
Really,
stuff like that. Yeah, man, we from the East Coast, man.
I'm
So,
from Delaware, so that's
okay, you know what I'm saying? We went to school close to there. I went to school in Lehigh University in college, so
okay.
we were close over there too as well. So we're East Coast guys, but when we first came down here, we really wanted to do real estate right after college, right? We were all about doing real estate, but when we got out of college, it was like '07, right, Cal? You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it was a
I can't
little
get the
bit
screen.
it was a little bit
Sorry,
different
guys.
back then in '07. So
Mhm.
therefore we had that mortgage stuff go down. You couldn't get a loan. It was horrible for everybody, but we still wanted to be business people and we wasn't going to stop, right? So Calvin and I, we just started a cleaning company, right? So we started a
Mm,
cleaning company, literally cleaning carpets, being humble, right? When you start a business, it's about being humble at first. So even though we had that goal, I'm talking about we had paperwork, we had business plans, we put hours and hours into the business that we were trying to build back then in terms of the real estate. But during that time, '07, '08, '09, right after school, we couldn't get that done because you wasn't getting money. The market was ridiculous. So we had to pivot. So we did the commercial and, carpet cleaning, residential carpet cleaning. It's literally just two guys in a truck, Calvin and I just getting it done, right? That's what it was, right? We just get it going,
yeah.
building that money up. But then we always had that view of we're going to do real estate. We knew we were going to do real estate, but now it was just how do we get there, which is just grinding. And because we believe in the Lord and all that stuff too, we continue to work. So it went from, I won't take too long, Cal, because you jump in this question too, but we went from carpet cleaning, then we went to restoration, water damage, and fire damage cleaning. And then we went to, restoring houses. Then all of a sudden we're remodeling for investors. And then when we start remodeling for investors, we started knowing the banks and all that stuff. So we
Mm,
immediately jumped into that around 5 years ago. About 6 years ago, we started building for ourselves in terms of new construction. But we've been doing business since 2010. Actually, January 1st, 2010 is when Calvin and I quit our business. Quit our day jobs, working at T-Mobile. Got it.
okay. So y'all was both working at T-Mobile.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. That's dope. So like, so talk to me. Why that's interesting that story because I always talk about like what was you guys in college for? What was your degrees in?
My degree was in business information systems.
Okay.
So kind of like working with CRM systems, customer management systems, and
Okay.
kind of organizing companies on a database level and things like that.
So stuff
and
you
then of
probably
course,
still
and
can
then
use
marketing.
now, though.
Yeah, and then we play college football too. So I know I look a little on the thin side, but I was a little heftier. I played
got you.
cornerback in college, so we
we played
so we were
Division
college athletes.
Division I ball, played versus all those good teams, and I went to I went to school for supply chain management, and once again like business and sociology, psychology. So we did all those things, but college is really just fun because football, learning how to do a lot of stuff fast, and we were fortunate enough to go to a school that we actually did like real practical business and try to build businesses and stuff like that. So definitely got a little bit of experience through that.
That's dope.
Yeah, we were my bad, D, but we were 25. So we were so when we moved out to Texas, we were 23 years old, but we started our company, right, Chris, when we were 25. So at 25 years old, that's when, but before 25, everything we do, Chris and my brother and I, we kind of like leveling up, but always understanding what the goal is. So you're never worried about other people. You keep your head down, you're focused. And that's the same thing, we do to this day. And I think that's how we accomplish all our goals. It was just keeping our heads down, not worried about what everybody else is doing. Of course, you see it, of course, but you have to still, if you believe in yourself and your goals, you stay focused. So at 25 years old, like Chris said, we started up our company. We wanted to start up the real estate company, but because like Chris said, everything was downhill and couldn't get loans, we started from the bottom and worked our way up. But now, so Chris told the story of that side. I want to go into where they from the show story and then let you take it over, D. So at 30 years old or 29 years old, that's when we were approached by almost like a talent manager or something like that. They found us and said, hey, Lamont brothers, you guys are super, super funny. You guys are doing all this business. You're flipping houses, you're building people's houses, and you're doing all these things. And we think you need a show, right? So we were like, oh, really? So at 29, they kind of put together a deck with some of our work and a video of us. And they sent it into like 4 or 5 production companies, and all those production companies loved us. So after we met with them on meetings and stuff like that, they loved us. And then we chose to go with one of those production companies. And then that was like we were 30 years old, and then we started filming for HGTV back then. Wow. And we're 36. So just to let you know, we're 36 now, and we just got the show when we were 35. So at 30, we did a sizzle reel, we did all that. They came down there, we shot a few times. They said, well, we love you, but not now. And then 2 years later, they came back and said, shoot again. So we did it again. And they said, we love you, but not now. Then again after that, they said, shoot again later. But it was great. So 3 times we had to shoot pilots for HGTV and other networks, and they told us no. Not until the 4th time, which was in 2020, when they approached us, my brother and I, said, hey guys, our production company, JV Productions, they shout out to JV Productions, Courtney and Kirk. We love them. So they came back to us and said, hey, HGTV wants you guys to do one more time, and we're going to do a whole act 1, right? Wow. And then at the end of the day, we did that act pretty much with an act like a whole scene, 15 minutes. Yeah. So they wanted. So usually we did like 5-minute sizzle reel, but this time they told us to do a 15-minute act, which is like
working for free for the last 5 years. D working for free for the last 5 years. That's what he's saying, right? Just grinding, not expecting anything.
It's putting that work in. We pretty much exactly. And then just to finish it up real quick. And so after that, we had we shot in 2020 a 15-minute act 1. The network loved it. They came back to us and said, you know what, guys? We're not going to give you a pilot, man. So sorry about that. And we were like, man, but they said, you know what? We're going to give you 6 episodes in your first series and your first season of Buy to Build It. So let's go. And that was in February of 2021 is when they gave us the news of getting the show. And we started filming in May. And the first episode aired December 22nd,
That's dope.
2021 preview episode in this series comes out, new season Buy to Build It this spring 2022. So that's the story.
How involved are y'all? Like the name, I'm just listening to Buy to Build It. Is that something y'all come up with? The name?
Basically, it was just like everybody came up with like some names, but one thing HGTV do good is names, right? It came. We was talking about all these other names. We was like, "Yo, custom fit with Chris and Kyle." We thought it was real cool. It was like, chill, buy it or build it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we love it because it's like it's simple, it's to the point. We know what it is. I'm the guy that's going to get you to try to buy a house and remodel it, and Cal's the guy that's going to try to get you to buy a demo house or a lot and build it. You know what I'm saying? So very simple, straightforward. We love it. I like it.
That's dope, man. I think that the importance here is the people see the end result, but they don't see like all the background work. So you giving us that perspective of like, look, we started this long ago. Y'all just now seeing the finish line of like, so talk to me about like how that process was. Was you just like, look, man, we done did this 3-4 times. Like, like, was you ever discouraged? Or you just was like,
that was funny. That was funny you said that because at this last time, Cal and I were like, listen, guys, we don't want to be disrespectful, but we got a business to run. We can get to the next level. If we don't get this done, you need to release us. And if we want to do something ourselves, we'll just do it ourselves. But we cannot keep on doing this. Right. So it's exactly what it was. We were literally at our last, this was our last time we were going to do it. Cal, I think that's how I felt. What, did you feel the same way on that?
Well, exactly. Chris and I said, well, with this production company and with the people, because there's a lot of people behind the scenes, right? But with the people that we were working with behind the scenes at this point, and for the last 4 years, we were like, you know what? This is going to be our last swing at it when it comes to this group of people. So it wasn't like we didn't want to be on TV because, to be honest, D, to go back, we call you. Can we call you D? Right? It's cool.
B is cool.
So yeah.
B like as in boy.
B. But you can call me Cal.
I got you.
So and then so my bad for that. But to go back to the story, so yeah, man. Finally we were like, okay, this is gonna be the last go, right? It's the 5th time we're doing it. And then even in between there, they were doing all type of stuff, trying to get us to show. But we never really, our aspiration, to be honest, was never really for getting a TV show. So even when they first approached us, it wasn't like we were like looking to go. We weren't knocking on production companies' doors.
You were just building your company up.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. We were just building our company. And our goal is in our real life company, and what we're doing on off TV, which is we buy land from in all different type of cities. Right now we have land in Dallas where we're based. We have over 30 lots. We're buying tens and tens of lots in other cities like Augusta, Georgia, and we're building entry-level homes and workforce housing. But my opinion on that thing was, look, man, we never really wanted to be on TV, but soon you get that first taste of it. Like when you're 29 years old and you're in LA and you're talking to entertainment lawyers and you're doing all these things, you're like, you know what? Now I want to be on TV. So we didn't, you know what I mean? So during those 5 years, we just kept our heads down. So every time they called, we were already in position to do it.
You ready? Right.
You know what I mean? So we kept doing our business. We kept our heads down, kept being successful. So every time we got the phone call to do another episode or another sizzle reel, we were ready to go. That's ready. Dope.
So why real estate of all things? You had the carpet cleaning company that you could have grew and scale. You had the restoration with the fire and mold and why real estate?
Because real estate is where it is. B. Mr. McQueen. Mr. McQueen, I'm talking about your last name. When it comes to real estate, Mr. McQueen, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like that. I
got a real estate license. Yes.
So we did it. We know who you are. All right. We understand that real estate really is the foundation of, if you're not going to be into the, like, listen, to make good money, real estate where it is. If you want to go into the stock market and stuff like that, you got to have that money to make that money. But if you're trying to build from nothing and you're trying to have a legacy and you intend to grow, we went from flipping homes, right? No, we went from just building other people's homes to flipping homes, to building to flipping remodel homes, to developing like $1 million homes. And now we literally do infill development with, cities like Augusta, Georgia, and like St. Louis and Dallas. Like that's what we do now. Right. So we took it all the way from there. And now we can come all the way to the point now where we work with cities and we own several lots and we're able to put our mark in the cities where we come from, right?
Right.
Us, build them back for a price point that's still of value for a price point, right? You know, these days in 2022, we're at $400,000 is the average home right now in America, right? So, and we're selling our properties in our areas right around that 250 and under, the 260 and under. So we are trying to still hit that level. Like, listen, you need a first-time home buyer or just an entry-level home. We want to be there for you. So that's what we do.
That's dope. So how y'all? Oh, go ahead, Cal.
No, my bad. I mean,
I was gonna ask y'all, like, so I'm in South Florida. This market is crazy, but I'm sure this is everywhere, right? What do y'all see like happening? We definitely are in this seller's market where people just getting top dollar because the inventory is low. How are y'all? Is it the same where you are? What y'all seeing in the market?
It's horrible right now when it comes to, you know, for
it's
our
all
house.
about it's all
Go ahead,
about your perspective. It's all about your perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's horrible is what side you're on right now. So if you're a seller right now, you're in bliss. So at the end of the day, Texas right now, DFW has just been deemed the number one, the hottest real estate market in the country.
Dope.
So right now, prices for homes are selling. You're getting multiple offers on the first day. People are all cash deals. Skipping
they are going over appropriate appraisal numbers, though. Let's just be real with it, right? So these numbers are way higher.
Why you have to have they're going over and they're selling over asking price.
My bad. I was gonna say the good thing is that obviously we're not doing those like adjustable rate mortgages anymore like that. So these are all going into fixed rates. So you know whatever they paying now, they're gonna be paying later. That's a good thing. But their values, they're not gonna be able to get any money at their house anytime soon. That's a fact. They're not gonna be able to sell their house and make a profit anytime soon. That's going to be a fact as well. So if you're looking to buy a house and like hold it for a long time and you can live it for a long time, you're going to make your money back. You're going to be good. But if you're looking to like just buy a house right now and just like flip it real quick, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you know what I'm saying? Right now, it's really about the developer right now. If you can, and then it's hard to develop too, because of the cost it is to develop. So really, it's really hard to be right. Like, so I heard somebody say right now, it's only the big boys doing business right now, right? Like only real developers and real people that do that kind of stuff is going to be able to get the money for it, be able to do this stuff because you're going to need a lot more cash now. It's a little bit more risky in terms of the build.
Yeah, what I'm seeing. Go ahead, Cal.
My bad, Barry. I was just saying, we focus in new construction. Of course, on the TV show Buy to Build It, we do you know, remodels and new construction. And you know, we built our company off of doing remodels and flips and all that other stuff. And real quick, just to go back to why did we go to real estate? We never wanted to do all those other things. As my brother and I were business people, that's all about leveling up and understanding the barriers of entry, right? Gotcha. And but you still learn business tactics. You still learn how to run the business. My brother and I still had huge contracts and 30-something employees and doing all these jobs with the city and everything while we were building our way up to get to investing by the time we were 29 years old. So in those 4 years, even though we weren't technically doing our own homes and doing our own investments, we were working with other investors. We were doing hundreds of homes and you know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff.
For sure. That stuff, for real.
Also, we wouldn't have been able to do what we were able to do at 29, 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then even those 5 years that we didn't get to show and they kept saying no, it's actually even better because it's like, yo, we learned so much from building $1 million homes and all those type of homes that we did from the age of 30 to 35. So every time they came back to us, we were even more prepared. We did more houses. We always leveled up even more. So now that we got to show,
Cal will go.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're good, man. Gonna keep on going. If you gotta stop him, just stop him. I just want to tell you, if you gotta stop him, just stop him because he'll go off forever on a different question.
Because I'm listening. This is great on the job.
Okay, perfect.
I forgot what the question was.
I did it.
He was backtracking about the real estate because you gave perspective, but he didn't give his perspective on it.
I'm playing with him, man. You know, I'm gonna bust him top and keep on talking. Like, yo, let me get a chance, yo.
I like that though.
Yeah, you'll understand this real soon, but that's why we got a TV show. But you know, I can deal with him. So just to finish, but you know, because we have time. So just to finish my question on that, my answer to go back to it was that's, I mean, we never had, that was never our aspiration. It was just that we knew that we had to do those things. And from 30 to 35, we're even more prepared for the show Buyer to Build It because of the quality of the homes we kept doing and the things that we did. So time is never wasted. You know, you just keep your head down and grind. And then when it comes to the real estate, back to the current answer, which is, yeah, man, right now, if you're doing new construction like we do, everything is almost doubled in price. So if you're buying any new construction home right now, the fact is you're almost going to be paying double for the house than you would if you built it 2 years ago, because just to build it is double the cost.
And is that just based off like material costs and just everything with inflation, all of that? So the numbers, just the materials alone is double, right?
Exactly. Like literally, for example, a piece of plywood board used to cost $10 or $15. Now it costs $50, right, from the regular place. So it's definitely a cost for concern, and people are making the adjustments now. So now houses are costing a lot more to build, and they're costing a lot more to buy. So the new construction, those costs are justified because the price of the build costs more.
I just put an addition on my house in the back. It was just like a second living room type thing. And it was cheaper. My house was like an older house that I originally was going to flip. And then when we started cutting down trees, we found out it was on the water. That's how terrible my realtor was, right? So she didn't even tell us it was waterfront. It was just so overgrown, we didn't know. So as we get here, we start cutting trees down. I'm like, yo, this is on the water in South Florida. No, I'm not flipping this and selling it. Let's just keep this thing. Yeah, this is it. I'm retiring here. This is it. But it was a wood frame house. It was cheaper to do my new addition in block than to continue to do the rest of the addition in wood frame. Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
a lot of Florida guys use block over there, though. You guys use a lot of block out there, though. At least most houses are block out there. We wood framing out here.
More wood frame siding, right?
Yeah, more framing, hardy siding, or like I live in a historic district. Like I said, I'm about to build a house in the historic district, so I got to use the wood windows.
Oh wow!
The 117, which is like the old school siding and all that stuff. So just to build my property is even more expensive because I got to use all those crazy costs. So what I'm saying, it's getting.
So how did you get in that? How did you guys get into okay, now we doing some work and we doing a lot of on-the-job training, let's say that 5-year span, right? Do one of you say, all right, you go focus on the real estate stuff, I'm gonna go get the GC license, or how does that work?
So basically what we do, we have the business and we run the business obviously we have the construction business. Mm-hmm. We run it as 2 general managers. We have multiple jobs. So we're doing a lot of work and we're just running those projects. He might run 3, I might run 3, we'll do it like that. So when it comes to the team, we both do a lot of everything, right? So basically Calvin is going to be doing design some houses. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do all those things together, right? So when we went to the TV show, it was literally at the end of the day, Calvin and I both had those same. Calvin does a little bit more. Calvin would be more quote unquote the designer. So we do take our roles. So you might see me on the job site more at the beginning when it's coming to foundation and framing and stuff like that. And you might see Calvin more out there getting material sometimes, getting something like that. But when it came down to the show, it was really like, what you want to do? Cal's like, yo, I'll do this, I'll do that. We're ready to rock and roll. But Cal is more than capable of building a whole house with nobody else around him. He can get it done by himself. Because he did it before.
So let me talk to y'all about how much pressure is this on you guys for the people that look like us to be able to, we looking at y'all like, oh, this is possible. They did it. What kind of pressure does that put on y'all?
Well, I'll start with this, man. How much time do we have? I don't feel. I'm talking myself because even though my brother and I are twins, we're not conjoined, and we got 2 different braids. I think we need a podcast too to have 2 different views. But I think we're aligned with. But we're aligned with a lot of things. But so the pressure, we don't really feel the pressure when it comes. Well, I'm sorry, I don't feel the pressure when it comes to the representation. Right? I understand what this getting this platform allows.
Right.
All the things that's coming to my brother and I behind the scenes when it comes to the other interviews and working with companies. I'm not gonna name any names right now, but the same working with companies and retailers right now, just working on deals to license and manufacture certain products.
Mhm.
You know, being able to do certain type of commercials and like a lot of things that we're working on right now behind the scenes, and the show hasn't even come out yet. So we're excited, and we understand with that, with those successes and all those, I guess, opportunities comes a
Yeah.
lot of responsibility, right? So I don't feel the pressure because this is what we do.
Right.
You know, my brother and I, um, we like even though we're on TV and we have our own show, and that's one thing. When it comes to business, we're
Yeah.
100% about our business. We have COOs and we have a whole bunch of people in the company that does their job for us, and we do our job daily. And you know, our goals are set, and we every single day we work to try to achieve those goals. And I think those align with everything that our community is looking for. So
Oh,
I feel the pressure, but it's more like as long as me and Chris do what we have planned and on in real life, it's more pressure, I guess, when it feels on TV talking about, hey, are we good enough? You know, it's our first TV show, so I think it's more pressure. Like, but when the first show aired and all that positive feedback that we got,
yeah.
I'm like, wow, man, because it was remember we just seen ourselves on TV for the first time ever, and
That's
in
dope.
last year, and everybody was calling us, and we got so much positive feedback, and they were like, man, this is big, and they were excited. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm on the same kind of thing like Cal said at the end, basically like because we do this, right? It's like when you see like Aaron Rodgers, somebody come out there and play their game, like they're not nervous because they know they've been working all week, they've been
Right.
getting it done. And we actually been lucky. So I always see things as like a blessing too, right? So when we're talking about that 5 years Cal talked about earlier and how long it took for us to get here, but during that 5 years, we had professional camera sets, professional directors,
Right.
producers. We were basically really doing TV shows for the
Yeah.
last 5 years. They just didn't get on TV.
Right.
So this year, by the time we got on, we got the best directors and showrunners on our team. You know, Steven and Lauren Alvarez. They're the ones who did Fixer Upper. They're getting it done. Shout out to them, right? They came on like action, right? So
Right. Ready
they
to
was
go.
already telling us like, you already
like
know what it is. Do what we saw you can do, Chris and Cal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So that was probably more really. It was really about being good enough for the team because we're a team. We're team oriented. Play football. We're a team. So we got out to the production. You know, real quick, it's not just you and
of
yourself or
course.
you and Cal, right? It's literally 15, 20 people on the set. We got meetings every week. We doing all those things. So when we get out there, everybody's sitting here like these jobs are because of Chris and Cal. So not even only because for what we are as our culture, and we're trying to get everybody to say, listen, you can have people who look like Calvin and I on TV and still get 4.5 million viewers because we just Chris and Cal and everybody, and we're gonna get more viewers because now we're gonna get everybody who already watch HGTV. Plus,
Right.
we got everybody who come see us and want to be like us too as well, right?
Of course.
So we're excited about doing that. So it's really not about being nervous. At first, when we first got on the sets, it was just about okay, how's it going to be to finish an entire episode? How's it going to be
Right.
doing that? But once we got into it, now we're really flowing. So when season 2 pop off and stuff like that, Calvin and I are going to be feeling real good. And hope, knock on wood, if season 2 come out, well, we should be
Got
doing
you.
right. But I think that
a
we have
a
a
V.
good. Cal, we had my bad, Cal. We had a real good reception on it the first time, so it was. Everybody really likes it. One thing everybody said was like, it better got more episodes because we need to get more Chris and Cal. So we're excited about it. We got a great team, and we just hope everybody enjoyed this show because we really put a lot of work in it. And these are going to be the best remodels and builds that you see on HGTV. These are not no little remodels, and these are
Some of they're gonna be just as good as everybody else's, if not better. We're
when
not
I'm
saying we're
about,
better
yeah.
than
I'm
everybody
not,
on the
we're not
network.
better than nobody else. I'm just saying that we're
Chill
taking it,
out.
we're pushing it. No, I'm saying we're pushing it to the limit. That's what I'm saying. Like we're not playing games. Everything on HGTV is great. We know that. But we're talking about when Chris and Cal came out, we wanted to make sure we show y'all like, wow, here we are.
Right. And I
Yeah.
think
First
that's
off, we're just
go ahead.
no.
Go
I
ahead,
mean, you
Cal.
go
You
to
good?
there.
No, I was
I was.
thinking because I'll be watching the show sometimes and I'll be like, well, not I'm not talking about you guys' show, but I'm just like, why they design it like that? Like some stuff I'll be seeing on there. So when you tell me, yo, we gonna come with that heat, I'm like, all right, cool. Cause I be seeing some stuff and I'm like, they got a show? I be feeling like that when I'm watching this sometimes, like, cause I've been in
and I think
construction 20 years, right? So I done been
in
in the
real estate.
oil
Yep.
business, I done been in Block and CBU. I went to school for civil engineering, so I just been around this for so long. So when I see stuff that I'm on TV and I'm like, damn, that ain't right. So when you tell me, yo, when you see our stuff, I'm like excited now because it's like, but go ahead, Cal, talk.
But no, well, see, that's why I wanted you to talk too, B, because that kind of bellies up what I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's back to the pressure. I think that's where the pressure comes because you might have expectations of, okay, first off, HGTV, the network is great. Our production company is great. They allow us to bring certain people on there. They allow us to have certain type of freedom when it comes to how we work and who we want on the show. So you'll see a diverse group of people. So you'll see not only my brother and I, we have white designers, we have white contractors, we have black contractors, Spanish and Latino contractors, we have black stagers, black designers. So on our 6 episodes, you're going to see all these type of beautiful, all different type of race and background people working with the same type of our clients, which are white, black, Spanish, from all different backgrounds too, with families.
These are not models that you will see on our TV show. These are all regular people.
All real people, even though they
I know
look,
what you
they
said,
like,
but you know what I'm saying?
people,
Like,
exactly.
this is definitely a
We've
show.
been blessed.
Real quick though, but Cal, this is definitely a show for, you know, people that look like us, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? How we doing it right now? This is for the millennials, for people 20 to 35 years old looking to buy that new house. Am I going to buy a house and rebuild it? What I do with that? Am I going to do a new build? Calvin, and we don't just have fun. I like the fact that they get us to actually help people out, right? Like you're going to see Calvin explaining why he does certain things. You're going to hear me talking about if there is an issue, why do we fix this issue? What are my concerns when we do certain things and how we get things done? So literally you can actually learn about real estate and buying a house, building a house, and all those things when you watch Buy to Build It. That's the part I really love about the house, about this show.
Yeah, and I think with the pressure, Chris, the pressure goes back to an expectation of, well, it's two sides. Well, we have these two brothers, these two young men. When I say two brothers, in reality, two twins, and we're on TV as designers and contractors, and there's not a lot of maybe people that look like us on anywhere, right? So are their designs going to be less? Who the clients are going to be? Like, how are they going to be? Like, they're kind of almost looking for any little thing. But with our show, with the type of clients that we work with, neurosurgeons, attorneys, financial investors, health service providers, teachers,
right,
all different type of people. And then
Cal,
we finished, Chris.
I want to add that real quick though. Let me add that real quick though. When you said that about, and the thing is, you think Calvin and I are special. Wait till you see who comes on this show and the houses that we're building for. Like Cal said, doctors, black lawyers. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So I love what we're doing, and Calvin hit it right on the nose right there. I wasn't even thinking about that. Not only is Calvin and I on there, it's going to be other people on this buying this, not a $200,000 home. We're talking about buying a $700,000 home. So literally, it's going to make everybody else watching the show who's not look like us be totally comfortable. Everybody looks great. It's going to be funny. But then when people like us watch the show, in their hearts, they get to see a little bit more of that. We know we're talking. You know what I'm saying? We know what we're talking about.
Exactly. So that's where I think that's why a lot of that pressure is alleviated, because you understand that the product that you're doing, and it's more. And then what Chris said, I know we're talking a lot, man. So Barry, if you ever see, if we talk too much, to stop us and go to the next question. But we just,
I love this, man.
We're new to this too, man.
Let's cut it out if you don't like it.
This what this about, man. Get it out.
Edit this, right? You can edit this if you don't like it. But when it comes to, Chris said a good point too. So Twin Bro said a good point when he said, when we did this show, we only did the 15-minute act, B. There was nothing else after. We never did anything else. Everything we did on this show after we toured the houses with the client, we never did. Because remember, we always stopped at a certain point. We always got to that point and stopped. Right. So when we finally got this show, so when the network, HGTV, said, Lamont Brothers, we're going to give you 6 episodes. They never even seen one episode yet. Wow. They only seen 15 minutes of one episode, and they trusted us, and they trusted the production company, JB Productions, to put this show together. and be able to provide a product that not only HGTV current demographic likes, but can we bring in other demographics and build as well. And I'm excited that we can do that. And hey, this spring, please watch.
That's dope, man.
Y'all gonna be impressed. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Tell me like one thing you guys learned about like the TV process, like how much different, because you guys is in the field, right? So y'all do this every day. It's not no different than what you're doing. It's you doing your same thing, but now they just filming it, right? What's one thing you learned differently? When them cameras come on.
That's a good question. Well, we do.
Great question.
So the good thing is like I like the show too, because we actually show what we really do, right? A lot of shows on HGTV, you'll notice how it's like they do all the work, and out of nowhere, two people do the whole.
I know that, Chris. All the other shows on HGTV are great.
You know what I'm talking about, Ross. I'm just talking about how, but now on our show, we do it more like GC. We have the GCs that we use. We got the designers, and we're teaming up. Calvin and I are those experienced construction management, like we're the construction management guys, rather than, we lost Cal. So, we can see the body building back there. So I like that better than Cal's face anyway, guys, that body building. But
sorry, I had to get a quick drink.
So the thing about this entertainment is that literally they want it on real schedule. They're not playing about the schedule. Right. If you tell them you want to be done in a certain time, you better be done at a certain time. It's an issue because there's a lot of moving parts and we have to be on time. We got to do it right. And really, we want to be available all the time because we understand that for us to have one day of shooting, that's 15 people. They got to do something, plus houses we got to go to and all that stuff. So really, for me, it was just saying, this isn't no playing around stuff. This is work. This is a job. And this is something that you got to pay real attention to and be real dedicated to.
Yeah. So my experience with, I agree with all what Chris said. My experience with getting our own show on a cable network channel like HGTV, like a massive channel with a huge budget. You know, no, I mean that's the pressure though. Like that's where I go back to the pressure. Like, wait, we're on a network where it's like if we don't perform and we don't do certain things, you don't want to say this, but will that hinder somebody behind you? But you know for a fact, if you're successful, you do good, it could help.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You just don't want to hurt, right? So that's the pressure right there. So we want to perform and do our best. So first thing first, it's a lot of work, right? You know, everything on the TV show that we do is real. From the clients, from the houses, from we designing them, from we're building them, and all that stuff is real people, real homes, real issues. And we're just getting it on camera. But where it comes to the filming stuff, now, of course, the people on the show are casted. And me and Chris in real life, in real business, we don't really work like that, of course, because we don't buy the building and go see three homes. So, of course, the show is produced. So you realize most people say when they work with us, like the clients or anybody that we're dealing with, because, you know, we work with certain retailers are on the show. If we're doing if we're not at a flooring store, at an appliance shop or something like that, or at a golfing place, the people that work with us first of all say how much work it is. They say this is ridiculous. They're super tired. It's all day. We're doing the same thing over and over and over again from different angles, even though we have like 4 cameras and 20 people on set. So the first off is the amount of work you do. You have to be ready every single day, no matter what, right? So we're working 12 hours a day, and we're working every day a week, especially in the beginning. And you have to we have to have the same kind of haircut. You have to have continuity. You have to make sure the clothes are the same. Make sure your haircut's the same. And when you black, you know how that is. Me and Chris getting haircuts.
Thing growing in right now.
Haircuts in the month.
And then I have to keep my face for the show. I'm the designer on the show, quote unquote. Me and my brother do both, but for the show, I'm the head designer and have the head division, and Chris is the head contractor.
So Cal gets to look like a model. So Calvin's whole thing and his how can he be a model in this show and try to look better than me? His whole show is, can I look better than Chris?
Barry, that's easy
I'm
to
doing
do,
everything
man.
I can to fight against
Barry, that's easy for me to do, brother. So AB, I'm good. But yeah, so with TV, it's just like, thank God that we had some of the top cameramen, audio people, showrunners, because they taught us how to be on camera. They taught us about the details, the understanding that, yo, this TV thing, you have all these cameras, it's HD, they're going to see these things.
Right.
Me and my brother, make sure we talk clear enough, making sure that we're,
Yeah, we from the
have
East Coast, man. So sometimes we talk a little fast, but
yeah,
you
we
know
have
how that
parents. We
is.
have our parents are from Jamaica, but
Okay.
also for the show we have a stylist. So
Mm.
thank God, because we wore over 100 and something outfits for this show, and we didn't even realize how many outfits we'll have to wear in wardrobe. But if
Yeah.
we didn't have Brandy Kraft, our current business manager and our stylist, that was for the show, it would have
Shout
been
out,
crazy. So
shout out to her, man.
shout out Brandy Kraft, because she styled Chris and I for the majority of all the episodes and all the
And she
things
keeps
that we
out, and
did.
she keeps us rocking and rolling too every day. So we're
She
excited
keeps us
about
rocking
that.
and rolling. So
That's kind of that goes on to just us and in business, because this is a business show. Two people try to get that money, right? Is that we're talking about, right? So obviously it's about us, but they probably want to hear about how do you, Chris and Cal. We glad that you here and we good. We know the show coming out, but it's like at the end of the day, how you get that, how do you work, right? And I think it's just a consistent grind. And Cal always says you just have to be able to move, right? Slow down to speed up, making sure that you're, thinking about what you want to do. And at some point you got to attack that business sense, right? Calvin and I came out to Texas for a specific goal, literally to do real estate, but we couldn't do it. So what we did was adjust and we did something else until we got to the point where we could do what we really wanted to do. Now that did not mean we took our cleaning company 100% serious. So whatever you do, it has to be 100% effort on that, right? So even though we wanted to do the real estate stuff, it just wasn't a possibility. But so we literally were like, okay, it's 100% this. That means we did a business plan. We literally put real estate to the side to be able to build the proper business, so therefore we can live, obviously, and grow something. And then by doing that, it literally put us in position it's crazy, from cleaning to real estate, but that was a clear path.
Right.
For us, it went from cleaning to restoration. The restoration, the house messed up.
Yeah.
After the house messed up, you got to put it back together. So once we started doing that, it went to investors, and then it goes to doing it yourself. So even though someone could tell you, how could you ever think cleaning carpets could be connected to real estate? Maybe I can tell you something different, right? Don't worry about nobody.
It's like an entry level position, right? Like you've seen every aspect of the journey, right? To where you wanted to be. And I think that's dope. Like what's one piece of advice you would give to, like, not even if it's just real estate, just because y'all been entrepreneurs fresh out, right? So just being an entrepreneur in general, what's one piece of advice you would give somebody that's like, look, I want to start my own business. I don't know where to start, or how to get involved. What piece of advice could you give to our listeners? Because we got a big entrepreneurship following.
Okay.
And I think you guys' perspective individually, share that with me. What you think?
You go first, I go second.
Okay. Hard work minus knowledge equals wasted time. Hard work minus knowledge equals wasted time. And when I say that, you need to know what you're doing before you do that. Somehow, some way, in some fashion. That doesn't mean you freeze and you put your feet in cement and you don't go after it and make it happen. But you have to be continuously educating yourself, putting yourself around the people in the industry, learning through reading in whatever ways you want to learn, finding mentors and people in the industry, and immersing yourself into immersing yourself into what you're trying to do and around those type of people. So by osmosis, you start to learn, right? So if you are in an industry like my brother and I was in the water damage industry, and you think that you're going to get jobs through knocking on doors and going through individuals and going on Google and try to get people to, you don't know the industry and you haven't done your job. Your hard work is not going to pay off because your knowledge isn't there. So it's wasted time. But if you know that the way to get work through insurance claims and water damage going through these companies that are third-party companies, and they distribute the work, and then that's how 99% of the work is given out in that industry. You'll learn how to get those jobs. You won't waste your time because the knowledge is there. Not saying you know how to do the work, but at least you know how to get the work, and then you can put people in place to do the work.
Right.
So know what you're doing before you do it, for the most part, but don't be stuck in the concrete.
That's a good one, Kyle.
That is a good one.
Yeah. And then I would say, once you do this, so once you get that part done, that's the first part right there, right? So after step 1 is done, it goes into step 2, which is you're going to have to be able to adapt. There is no such thing as failing. We took carpet cleaning company and took it to developers, and now we do infill development and we deal with cities, right? Did we fail on the carpet cleaning company, or did we adapt it to what we wanted to, or where it told us to go? So you're not going to fail in business when you continue to adapt, and you have to see in front, right? We're not going to make money in business in tomorrow, right? You have to know what needs to be done 4 or 5 months from now, because we got to start doing those kind of things to get that stuff done now to get what we need in 4 or 5 months. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be, there's nothing wrong with it, but you're going to be working, doing something else on Uber because you made a mistake and you behind on your rent. So for you to be smart, Calvin, one thing I'll say last thing, Calvin and I were very, very intentional about, even when we were down to, listen, we need $2,000 for this month to be able to be good.
Right.
Where do we need 10 carpet cleans? Let's go get those.
Right.
Understand where you got to go for this week so you can get to the next week, and then all of a sudden now we got a call for a $40,000 water damage project. Now we good. You can't get us no more. That's what I say.
The longer you can stay alive, the longer you can stay in business, the more opportunities
you might get.
The longer you can stay alive in business, the more opportunities you'll have to be successful. So do anything you can to stay alive, sacrifice, and that's where your opportunity lies. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be up and down in this business, man, in all business. So
that's dope, man. I appreciate that, man. Look, we could be on here forever, man, but I want to thank both of y'all. I'm super excited for you guys' success. We definitely gonna stay in touch, man. You guys been tuned into another episode, man, of the Everyday Game Changers. Chris and Cal, Lamont, buy it or build it, coming soon.
Follow us on Instagram, baby. The Chris Lamont and the Calvin Lamont. Easy to follow.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Cal. Can anybody go follow us? You can follow us at the Lamont Brothers, THE, the Lamont Brothers, on all social media platforms, on Instagram, and then at the Chris Lamont, and at the Calvin Lamont on social media as well. So buy the building. Can you see HGTV? Shout out everybody. Shout out Baron.
Shout out B.
Appreciate you having us.
We appreciate this podcast. Yo, this podcast is fire. This is our first ever podcast. No matter where we go, no matter whatever we go and whatever we do,
we're gonna remember this moment.
This is the first podcast we did.
Right? I appreciate y'all. We're gonna be in touch, y'all, man, and we gonna be in touch.
Let's
get
that money.
Stay in touch with y'all. Definitely.
Let's get that money.
Let's do it, y'all. Say no more.
Thank you, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Baron. Appreciate you, brother.